All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, all the peeps out here. Time for another version of Hayward CPA Live, coming to you from Durham, North Carolina, right now. Chilling. Um, just want to give a quick shout out to the next Doria shirt. We in the building like that, and let me get my man up in here. So you know, my man Cortastic is in the building. Okay, you inside today?
Good morning. Yeah, it's a little chilly outside, huh?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
went from summer to immediate freezer.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. It's out, it's out of control. But fall just showed up. Said, "Yo, I'm here."
Yeah,
But
this. Let me show you guys how it's done,
yeah,
right?
so I was like, yeah, and I was like, gosh, yeah. So, but personally, I love it.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
being from the northeast, this the jacket weather. This is the Yeah, because this is about the time that we would go back to school.
Yeah,
So cats be like, they'll get stuff over your school clothes, and they'll be like, if it's marginally brisk, somebody wearing a coat, like it could just be like, yo, I'm
yep,
talking like it's low 60s.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like is that it's funny, but like living down here for so long, the kids go back to school. It's hot. And I'm like, I used to be
Mm-hmm,
like, yo, it's still hot.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
you going back
And
to
we'll still be good, throughout very close to Christmas, right? With warm weather. We'll
Yeah,
just have
well,
we'll have chilly mornings and chilly evenings, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Who
Right.
knows? I mean, the global warming that doesn't exist. Uh, who knows? But anyway, we're here. We can take any topic and turn it into a podcast. So, so we can move into what we're here for. Hello to all the people out there in the world checking in with us. Beautiful. Just point out right here if you have any questions for Corey or myself, place them in the chat, or you can email live at Haywood CPA. We'll get back to you on the answer if you're watching this at a future date. Um, no real shout outs, but they'll pop up. The shout outs will pop up as we come in. But yeah, I guess we're gonna get to it. So I'll allow you to do the honors of um, introducing our topic, this morning's topic. You know, so
Yeah, so we in the closeout of the year, really, right? With
mhm.
3 months to go. And, you know, summer's kind of coming to a close, the hanging out, the travels. Everyone's back to school, people going back to work in the office, I should say, or not, right?
Or not. Yeah.
And one of the things that we're seeming to run across a lot is, how do I save on my taxes?
Mm.
Right? That's the question we get a lot. We get a lot of,
Yeah.
especially now, right? And it's the mysteria is, it's the end of the year, tax season's coming up. We have to act now. And that's not really the best approach, because tax planning is really year round, right? As we learn. And it's the strategies, it's the scenarios, it's the increase in revenue, income, however you look at it, um, your portfolio, right? Your budgeting, your behaviors, and your mindset around money, that is year round, right?
Mhm.
So why is it important to understand that? You don't have to be a CPA, accountant, or EA, right? You just have to have a basic understanding, and then you have to have some resources that can help you facilitate um, what it is that you're looking to do. Because one of the things that or I guess the most important thing is understanding how much money you need to live their lifestyle, and you work around that, right? And one of the things that we talk about a lot is thinking about taxes as your light bill, your rent or your mortgage bill, your car note, your food bill, right?
Mhm.
So, when you keep it in that type of a perspective, it makes it a lot easier when you get to the end of the year, whether you have to pay out or you want to get some money back, right? So, um, you know, let's talk to you, the expert, the CPA.
Oh,
Let's
Victoria,
yeah, let's get at it, right? And let's kind of just give the folks a little
something to think
insight.
about.
Yeah,
I'm all
definitely,
about giving you something to think about.
definitely.
And yes, yeah, I totally agree. Everything you said, obviously, we've discussed this. Um, I've talked, I think in one of the earlier editions, I talked about tax planning, but going to be a little more detailed here and try to get it to sink in because there's a cognitive dissonance between people and their taxes. Like it's really this is I don't it's just this thing that they're scary. I don't understand them. Most people I don't want to deal with it and all this and that. But then they come to a professional and say they want to save on it. Well, here's the whole deal. You tax planning requires action, and it takes action by the taxpayer. The professionals, we live in the code all the time, one way or the other. We live in the code, so we understand. We see different things. We can advise you, but you have to take action. As many of our clients who I've spoken to over the years, especially in recent years, understand is that my whole philosophy is we want to keep our money. We want to keep our bread. We want to keep more of our bread. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the goal. So that's what people are really saying. I want to save on taxes, and I've just evolved that to say, well, okay, we're gonna save on taxes, but where else can we save? As like where else? And also, well, I think one thing, building on what you were saying, a budget. Most people don't have budgets, and if they do, I always call them their suggestions. You know, I'm going to suggest that I'm only going to spend X amount on whatever, but the reality, it's a hard thing. It's a discipline.
Hmm.
Being budget
Hmm.
conscious is a discipline.
Hmm.
So what it is, I think it's more about taxes aren't they're not consumer item. That's what the problem is. And so it's the fact that when I'm spending money, I'm paying the tax. It seems like it's going in the wind. Where from public policy standpoint, if you didn't pay taxes, things would be really interesting out here. Be kind of crazy. So, I think that's the first place to start with tax planning to be like, listen, um, and don't go out the extremes. Pay very little in tax, and this is how the calculation goes. The people who don't make as much money, they don't pay as much or any tax whatsoever. They may even get money back. People that make a whole lot of money write the tax laws. Down, leave it out there. They had the resources to get the tax laws written in their best interest. Those of us in the middle, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta exist. So we gotta know
Hmm.
what's going on. So it's a mindset thing to say, okay, um, I don't like what I'm paying in taxes. Of course, I haven't met anybody that has like what they're paying in taxes. Like, they don't like what they're paying in taxes.
Right.
What do I do? Now, as wage earners, and I think we probably talk. I know last episode we was talking more about Q4 for business owners, but
Hmm.
wage earners with the current tax environment is very your moves are limited. Just be honest with you, your moves are really limited,
Hmm.
and because the a place where most wage earners usually were able to make some things happen with in itemized deductions. So that's your charities, your mortgage interest, local taxes, and all that. That the Jobs Act, whatever that one was, it changed it. What they said, well, we're going to simplify the tax code. Everybody wants to hear that. Oh, it's simplified. Yeah, it's easy. I think it was a congressman out of Texas. Oh,
Hmm.
it'll just be on this little card. They tried it for 1 year and then reverted and put the thing back to where it was. Like, so they're like, oh, it'll be this easy. And you just sign it in and it'll be pre-filled and you sign it
Right.
and send it back.
Right.
All those that want, flat tax and all that type stuff. This is an example of it. Newsflash, I'm telling you, unless the entire system crashes, our tax code is never going to be simplistic. So,
Hmm.
you know, I'll
Hmm.
just let you know that. But
Hmm.
and it probably was like the lobby from Intuit and all them, TurboTax, all that. Were like, yo, what you trying to do? you
Right.
know, what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what's going on here? You trying to make it easy? So easy? Oh,
Right.
no, no, no. You taking that food out of our mouth. But when they made it simplified, they basically just gave you all your deductions up front. And so if you don't, and this is very controversial, and but yes, as far as deduction, like we're talking deductions, there's no exemption. So your kids, if you had 4 kids, it didn't change things like it used to. Now it worked in the credit part with the child tax credits to reduce your taxable income, but there was a point there some people were getting both. So you get the exemption because we used to have what they call a personal exemption, and that's claiming somebody. When people can I claim, my cousin's sister's boyfriend, like all that type of stuff, and they mean what you used to get an exemption for them, like $3,600,
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
that doesn't exist right now, even though many people call. I want to claim so and so.
Right.
Okay, that you say so. So
Right.
your wage earners, they did us wrong. Us wage earners, they did us wrong. But in the end, you are actually, I've seen in most cases, you're paying less tax, which is hilarious. But
Hmm.
here's where the trick is. Remember those years, 17, 18, whatever it was, and when they give you were getting a little bit more in your paycheck. Yeah, yeah. I knew that year. So I told Nicole, I told much, I was like, watch, these people gonna be on edge because they're not gonna get the same refunds they were getting because you're getting it
Hmm.
throughout the year. They cut
Hmm.
they cut it, and people didn't change their W-4s, all this
Hmm.
other stuff. So what's happening is because you haven't been paying as much throughout the year. You've been
Right.
using your money. You didn't do it. And so now you get back. Yo, this is all I'm getting back. Well, no, you already had it. This is like you already had some of it. Now we trying to, get it back. So, but to bring it to our subject, tax planning. Um,
And so, hold on before you go into that. That's a good point. That speaks to the understanding that we're trying to employ, right?
yeah.
Is if taking that example you just gave, they gave it to you in your paychecks, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, so what does that even mean? Right? How do you even think about that? So once they said that, what is the vehicle of understanding that needs to be employed? So when you get to tax season, you already know you're not going to count on that extra money because they already gave it to you throughout the year.
Yeah, because you already
Point number one. Point number two, that shows you that tax planning is a year-round thing and not a one-off when you get to the time that you're going to be doing your taxes, right? I mean,
yeah,
we could take it a step even further. Forget tax planning. Don't let's not even call it tax planning. Let's just call it financial management,
yeah,
financial planning, because it has everything to do with your income. Period. End of story. It's
long
not
way to
about taxes. It's and for me, and I just used me, I was able to comprehend that that's what that meant. I started looking at things a lot differently and being able to adjust and plan a lot differently. Like I pick your brain all the time on
Oh yeah,
financial planning and this, that, and the third, and being a business owner and being going from a W-2 to a business owner and things of that nature. And it's a lot entailed in that. But the first thing is understanding, changing the mindset to understand what that entails. So when we go to the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
we pay tax.
Yeah.
Are we negotiating with the grocery store on the taxes that are paid? No.
No, you can negotiate on the price usually, not the
Right?
tax.
When we go, right. So just so right. So when we go buy some clothes, we paying tax on it, right?
According
We
to where
go
you
to
buying
dinner. We
them.
right. When we go to dinner, we paying tax on it, right?
Yeah,
Right. So, but we're okay with, here you go, we eating good. Here's my card. Take the payment.
yeah. But there's the reward to it. It's
Understand.
something I wanted and like I had, So no,
Understood.
you're
Understood.
going exactly where I was headed. I'm saying that I think people don't realize. So one of the words, all a tax is not a tax is not a tax. So we're talking about income tax planning.
Correct.
This
Correct.
is
Correct.
income,
Correct.
federal and
Correct.
state income tax. So, and I think that's a good place to explain. That is the tax you pay on the income you earned in a given period, usually a calendar year.
Hmm.
Income tax. Now we have consumption taxes like sales tax. Sales tax is the tax you pay on top of the price for a fee or service. That goes to the state too. You know, some places don't have it, but when they states that don't have it usually have high real estate taxes. I
Hmm.
think that's straightforward. You understand what that is. So, and then in business, your business pays payroll tax to which is basically to match your Social Security and Medicare, and then your unemployment insurance. That's all employer taxes. And then they got excise taxes and all that, but that's not if you're a trucker, you know about excise taxes. So that's number one. I think to get to the understanding you're talking about, like, let's talk about that first. Like that's okay. What taxes we talking about? You get into the layers, and everybody taxes the. You bring up a good point. I mean, people complain about sales tax, but what's funny is that sales taxes have increased like tenfold. I remember back in the day, I think New York was 8.25, right? And it was like, that's why you would go to Jersey to go buy stuff, or because I
Hmm.
think doing Paramus out there, like you would get a deal or
Hmm.
something, and then you come down south, the taxes would,
Hmm.
it'd be like less 4 or 5, like it
Hmm.
wasn't remotely close.
Correct.
If we pull it up now, like Virginia's is all of them are like 8-9% on the low.
Hmm.
Like I think ours in North Carolina is lower, I think, but we
Hmm.
got a prepared food tax that
Correct.
only goes on prepared food. Like
Correct.
so, you hit it on the head. Is the mindset of that. You want to be outraged. You're going to be outraged about the sales taxes. You might be able to get that reduced faster because you're in the state. But
Right.
so when we get to this income tax thing, you know, um, I think it's more. I've always said it's more of a cash flow problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's more about you went through the whole year with your head in the sand. You do your return, and we act like it's a lottery. So people go in and they put either they use TurboTax or give us their information, us being practitioners, and then they're sitting down at night waiting. She's let's see.
Wait, did I get a ping on my phone?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for my refund check.
Let me see
Yo,
if the
ma, I'm
ball,
gonna
the
get this
ball game.
refund check. Yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna go on vacation. Yo, we gonna
we're
go
going
buy this. We
bananas.
gonna do this. We
Yeah,
gonna crazy.
and then something may have changed in the tax environment, and
Boom.
boom. Oh, yeah.
With the
Well,
letter.
and I will tell you this as a personal point. When I first started practicing, you know, um, on my own, I always worked, under my father and stuff. But I didn't really talk to those clients. I did the work. When I started dealing with people, I'm telling you, if somebody owed money, the, the truth, I would think I did something wrong. I would
Mhm.
literally be like, and everybody that's an accountant out here knows is that, you'd be like, yeah. Then, um, over the years, well,
Mm.
yeah, I started going to sleep at night because what it made me realize, I'm saying, first of all, what you deal with is people they're getting money
Right.
and they don't want to pay no taxes.
Right.
So they'll say, "Oh yeah, well, I got a new job. Well, I got 20, 30,000 more plus a bonus. So
Hmm.
what you thought you was gonna pay the same taxes? Like, oh,
But why is that? Why do people think that they don't have to pay taxes though?
I,
Like what's like where are they getting that storyline from?
it's simple as playground. Cause well, these people don't pay taxes. General
Hmm.
Electric doesn't pay taxes. Bill
Hmm.
Gates doesn't pay taxes.
Hmm.
Warren Buffett, and I'm like, you're not either one of them. So, Donald Trump
But
don't
they
pay.
understand. But see, that speaks to they understand how the game goes, right? And
Yeah,
so they set themselves up in order to not pay taxes
yeah. Oh, and
or
also
defer their taxes,
and
right?
other thing, they have very high lawyer and accounting fees
Of
per
course,
year. They don't pay
of
$200
course,
for a tax
of
program.
course. So you got to
So
pay to play, basically,
yeah,
if you
we
want
got
to get
people.
into that.
They love to get on there. Yep, I'm gonna put this up there. Yep, here we go. Yep,
Mm.
the Google search tax advice and friends. You
What
got
you call it?
Google
No, you call
accountants
them the
out here.
Google accountant.
Yeah, the Google accountants, man. And then what their cousin and them told them, and so on and so forth. And I've been deducting my dog expenses for years and all that good stuff. Like everybody trying to find a way instead of making more money. But anyway, this is a great one. See, that's what I'm talking about. But that's where it comes from. Everybody,
Yeah.
because everybody points at what everybody else is doing instead of saying what you alluded to in the beginning. Personal financial planning. I'll make it even clearer to you. Personal financial planning. The tax game is just part of the game. It's called because planning is not just. I think it's misconstrued. Planning
Hmm.
is not just, oh, I need to reduce my taxes. It's also how am I going to pay the taxes that I know. At a certain point, the math is the math. You can not believe me and go to soul tax return, division of soul plane, and I don't care where you go, man, like that. And you have some people who aren't necessarily professional practitioners will tell you anything. I mean, that yes, you can make the form come back however you want. You can put a whole bunch of mess in there. And you're still even limited now. But at a certain point, you make some money, you gotta pay taxes.
Hmm.
And what's funny is that many people who are in that position, that their source of income is correlated to the government. So,
Hmm.
and I'm always like, so let me get this straight. you know, like you work for the government, but then you want to cheat the government out of taxes. I'm like, hello. That's like, yo, what? It's bananas to me, but okay. So, but it's knowing and it's time and it's a cash flow exercise. If you know I owe 20, and also the other part too is that I'm sending this out to my fellow practitioners as well. What happens is sometimes we get judged by the amount owed and the amount refunded. All right. But they keep changing line. 61 is where your liability actually is. The amount you owe or a return really has more to do with how much you contributed over the year. It doesn't really have to do. So there's a scenario where you can, in calculation, you can owe less in tax, but have to pay more because you had less withheld throughout the year. So that doesn't mean you had to bring pitchforks and torches to your tax preparer because they must have done something wrong. I always get a refund. Oh,
Right.
all the time. Are you
Right.
sure? What? Yeah, I'm sure. And then you take a look and you say, oh, well, the W-2, you want because they lowered you only withholding like 10%, but on your W-2, but you like in the 12% or the 20% bracket because you also
Hmm.
got you got a raise or you
Hmm.
got a bonus and you didn't take no money out. So it stacks on top. Or the ultimate, you took money out your retirement and they told you, and right now you don't have to pay the 10%. Well, they told you they're going to withhold them out, which is just the penalty. They only withhold the penalty unless you tell them. We put that money on top of what you made, and now you up two tax brackets. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, oh, what do you know? You sure that's right? Yep. So it's like, I mean, I'm with you. The mindset, and I'm just going to the examples because those are the things that people think. And I mean, well, I mean, not people who just came out of a coma. These are, these people making money doing their thing. But the mindset that they sold, that's what I said, cognitive dissonance to the tax thing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's on mix. So since we're a solutions-based organization, let's talk about how we deal with it. How you change that. One, you got to get into your stuff, as Corey said. You have to be aware of your finances. I know, not the most attractive thing in the world to do.
It's painful though, right?
Yeah, because it tells on you. You telling on yourself. Like you
it's like
really telling on yourself. Like,
it's painful.
yeah,
It's
because
really, it's like looking in the mirror.
oh, totally. And it take. It does. I was thinking about this morning in another realm. It takes a lot of courage to see yourself as yourself.
Yeah.
So if you going in there, and because in our society, in our culture, in the United States, the emotional attachment to money is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
We give a characteristic of a person as rich. Like we'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, he's this, he's 6 foot this, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, he rich too. Like this is a characteristic. So where we hold that there, so people, you know, we have this race to the bottom where it's like, oh, no one wants to say they broke. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
No one will go and be like, I'm poor. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
they'll always
True.
find somebody got richer than them. So,
True. True.
and it's all relative. So,
True. Tip of the iceberg, right? You can
yeah,
only see what's being shown.
it's crazy. So, how do you have to just be honest? You have to say, yo, number one, stop living your life on your gross income. You make $120,000 a year. That's what you earn, but you bring home probably closer to 90.
Mm-hmm.
Be real with it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, credit is issued on your gross income.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. That I'm
Mm.
telling
And
you.
that'll set you up, and that'll set you up pretty bad too.
Yeah, yeah. Because the taxes is coming off the top in that way. But
Mm-hmm.
so what's happening is you spending money, and I've seen it. Like people, oh, I make 120. I should be able to dot 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 dot. No, actually, you bring home 90. So what you gonna do like that? So I think that's a first place, even though that's not directly on a tax thing, is to understand the amount of money that you bring home. Once you understand that, either talk to your Google accountant or talk to a licensed. You ain't got to be just talk to a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sit down, have a session with them. Could be a one timer.
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand my taxes. If you can't get it, help me understand. Okay, but don't do it March of the year that you have to file. This is a good
Mm-hmm.
time of year. Shameless
Mm-hmm.
plug. Good, it's a good time of year to do it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because you still have another quarter where if there are strategies that can be taken,
Do it now. Yeah.
this year, you still have time to do it. This is a great time. But just say, look, I don't understand why I'm paying. And don't be ready to jump on the practitioner. They tell you why. Just it's an explanation like, hey, because this, and this is what it is. Then we talk about what you can do. Some of it you have to plan how you gonna pay it. So you got yeah. I mean, a taxpayer that's like single with no children, the houses, and now because interest rates are so low, they're not going to trigger
Mm-hmm.
the uh
Mm-hmm.
the itemized deduction, and they're making a whole lot of money. Yeah, and 401k and all that. But there's the math is the math. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna owe
Mm-hmm.
it. If you're not
Mm-hmm.
withholding it, you can tell them to increase your withholding, which once again was have we were talking about 120, you got 90, so you increase the withholding. Now you really bring home 80,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they are related. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
Or
definitely.
if you had the discipline, you get the money. You know, hey, I'm gonna keep my money. Now this is real sophisticated. But I'm gonna keep my money and go put it in the stock market because it's doing well. And then when I had to pay, I sell the positions. Blah blah blah. I still have a little left there. Blah 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 blah. I mean, you know, and see,
Easy, 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 easy. This
I'm
is a
just saying.
little tidbit.
Look, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the what it breaks
It
away.
goes to it's the thinking though. This is
Yeah,
what you're saying. It
the
revolves
mindset.
around how you look at it and what is it that you're trying to accomplish and what do you understand, right?
Yep.
And then seeking the professional information resources to help you because it's not a set and go thing. It's a constant
Oh, it's
refinement,
constant. It's
especially
constant.
year to year, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you because the goal is to generate more revenue, excuse me, income or revenue
Yeah,
um, for yourself, right?
keep more in your pocket. That's all.
Right,
You want
right.
to keep more
That's
in your
it.
pocket. Yeah.
Right, right. So
So
I guess one just to speak a little bit more to your solution based thing. We've been having these powerful, impactful, what we call research and analysis calls, right?
yeah,
And in that, you kind of get the pre game to before
go
you
with
get to your prep and filing stuff, right?
yeah,
And for those, reach out to us live at haywardcpa.com. We'll,
yeah,
we'll, we'll give you a little more information on what that actually looks like. However, just to kind of chime in a little bit more to what James is saying, if you were listening to some of the strategies and the nuggets he was giving on how to look at keeping more money in your pocket based off the income that you're bringing in, there are ways to do that, especially now. You got one more quarter left. So what are you going to do over the next 3 months? But here's the but to it though,
uh-oh.
James.
Here's the but.
You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
If summer wasn't damaging enough, and the fact that we pandemic kept a lot of people in the house over the last year and some change, and people have been traveling specifically this year. But the summer is very impactful with people just going crazy. Now we're moving into the holiday season.
Definitely, definitely.
And this is where mindset plays a key because now it's like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's are coming. We got to buy this gift. We got to buy this. We have to have this family over. We have to
Yeah.
spend excess amount on food. So that is not a part of tax planning.
Well, but it should be.
Or it could be,
It should be.
right.
You
But
know.
I'm just saying, it's like, oh, we got to eat good. We got to trade some gifts. I got to get my kids what's that, the new PS5 and
Oh, whatever.
the Xbox 7,000 or right.
$700 sneakers or something, whatever you got
You know what
going.
I mean? Those Jordans are going on for like six, seven, $800, my friend. I mean, my kids
Really,
tell me about. They show me these the
baby
little
ones.
apps with
Oh,
when a
yeah.
pair of sneaker come out, and
Yeah.
you gotta first come first serve.
Wow.
And if you don't buy it at $600-700, then you gotta go buy it at $1,400. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I just wonder if people realize that Michael Jordan is very wealthy.
Yo, that word doesn't even fit in his bracket anymore.
Yeah,
It's a
he's
whole
on
nother
something else.
word.
But I'm just saying, my man, all
It's
right, man.
crazy.
You 700. He
He
probably don't
he
even believe. I'm not. Well, I mean, he knows
listen,
it's happening, but he probably is like, really?
but people are buying these sneakers like they have an app. People go on when they announce a new sneaker, right? My son showed me this whole thing, right? And my daughter. So the release is getting ready to come out. You have to chime into the app. They say 10 o'clock in the morning, you got to be on it to
Be on
get right. If you log in at 10:02,
show.
all 1,000 pairs are gone by then
Yeah.
at $600 a pop. Then they have another app that where whoever bought within that number,
Hmm.
they go to that app and they can resell it at 7, 8. I think I saw a pair of Jordans retros for like 1200, 1250 or something. Like,
That's a
what?
straight cartel. It's a sneaker cartel. What is this? Wow, man, that's incredible. I remember.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't want to be done. I'm getting to be close to be that guy. But man, I used to have to. My mom was like, I ain't paying no more than $50 for those. I remember, I think the first Jordans was like 70, so $100. It was I'm like, no way.
Man, my sneakers had to last me a couple of seasons, right? And
Yeah,
I only got two pair, right? Black and white,
yeah.
right?
Keep it
And
out.
if you outside playing in either one of those sneakers, and you're not playing in the sneakers from 2 years ago, even though they might be too tight because you've
Yeah,
grown a little bit, boy, it's on.
yeah. It's banana. I'm like, yo, wow, man.
This is alien right here we talking about. People like, what?
No,
You outside playing with old
but
sneakers and no, or nothing on your feet?
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
well, first of all, going out and playing,
yeah, true, true, true.
you
Riding
know,
bikes and
like
climbing
this, dog.
trees and jumping gates and all of
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
nah, right
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
So, but and I think it seems like it's off topic, but it's really not. Like
No, that's all
that's
relative.
the thing that we all of us we're hit in the head with things that we can buy to make and a lot of times if you're unhappy with your gig or something, you can rationalize it. Well, I can't
Self-medicating
stand these
and
people,
buying
but
stuff. Yeah,
I
yeah,
got this
yeah,
brand new Benz out here, so you know,
yeah.
at least I have that, which I get. It's cool, but you start getting away from knowing your money. You don't know what it is, and then credit. If people always they want to they do great stories on people that got debt free in 3 years, and I'm always like, okay, they had to do something. Like if they were making the same money, either that or they might have got a higher paying job. But what they have to do, same thing I talk about, like in business, you have to keep your expense. You have to adjust your expenses. That's what you have to do. You control the expenses. You
And
let
it's okay to do those things, right? Like you're saying, it's okay. Listen, if you keep it in perspective, we all work hard, and you got to treat yourself instead of
no
cheat
doubt.
yourself, right? But
Yeah,
you can't if you're gonna go buy this, you can't still keep buying doing this thing over here. You better go buy a tub of coffee and a coffee maker and make
and
some coffee
you
at
know that's
home,
my
right?
Starbucks
Yeah,
example.
yeah. I'm just
You got
saying, like,
Starbucks happy,
yeah,
but
it's an offset, and that goes to financial planning. No one's saying you can't have what you want. Have what you want,
yeah,
but understand that there's just like there's seasons right now. We in fall, right? So there's seasons for a lot of different things, so you can continuously maintain and get ahead at the same time. And it's a hard thing to wrap around your head. So
oh,
that's one of the messages we saying is, seek to understand, reach out to those resources, to those professionals, get a good base understanding of where you at. Matter of fact, get a financial health check of where you are, understand your
yeah,
finances in totality, get the whole sheet, right? And then you can say, all right, now let me talk to my tax guy and let me see how this can actually make sense for me and begin. And it's a slow process, it's not overnight, right?
oh no,
Again, I speak to myself. I'm still in the learning game on a whole lot of pieces, in terms of that aspect,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
it's important to at least start the process,
yeah. I think
and things will come a lot sooner than you realize.
yeah. So I think one thing, and I actually wrote it down. I'm getting good.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, we can if you send us an email, I'm gonna put together one anyway, but finance like a budget, the same thing you're saying, financial fitness worksheet. We're saying email us, we give it to you. Go work on it. Play and look at it. And no obligation. Just we're giving it to the people because it's a mindset change. Like um, you know, you got to do it. We probably go post it. Yeah, I know what we do. We probably do a landing page for it. Um,
Hmm.
so go, do that. I mean, and help us out here. I mean, people with finances, it is so personal, man. It is so personal, and
Yeah.
I think people are afraid to ask for help, and that's
Because
why
you don't want to yeah, it's an
you don't get
exposure type
exposed.
of thing.
But you know,
But
most
what's the alternative, right?
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to tell another trade secret. Most finance professionals already know what you did wrong once they look at your stuff, or they know what shape you're in. In other words, like you come in the door, we already look at your stuff. I'm like, okay, I know where we are. So that aspect is there, but it's crazy because the amount of money that goes, and especially through our community, like I think my father told me something about like 6 seconds or 6 hours, something crazy. Every dollar coming community is out within 6 hours, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just this thing, we have gone left here, but
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. We are.
also, but keep this in mind. There was a report, and I put a blog post on Financial Flipside about 2053. Now I'm gonna I need to do more research on this, but someone put a statistic out there that by 2053, the median income of Black America will be zero. Zero. Now,
Mm,
what does that
mm,
mean?
mm.
Because most of us slept through statistics class. So
Yeah, right,
well, it's like, so
right.
what it's saying that of the population, which currently, give or take, let's use 12% of the United States, the median is the middle point, the middle value. That means half of the population will have a deficit. They'll owe money. They'll owe money. And half of the population will have a dollar or more of net worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I just propose this against everything because there's a movement. Oh, hey, build wealth and all that stuff and blah 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 blah. 0%, zero. The number zero by 2053. With all this money going through, yeah, of course it's still gonna be rich people and very poor, but us every day doing work, it's gonna be zero. How does that happen? That's the question. How does it happen? Like, how does it happen? Like, what is that? Stock market is ridiculous. Housing market is supposedly ridiculous. All this, how can a group of people be is diminishing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the big thing with us here. Even in our content, I'm just here to make you think. Think about that. People, and because all those people are not going to be. What happens is when people think, oh, they don't have any wealth or something, we immediately think of somebody that we would consider less fortunate.
Correct.
A la, just to keep it
Correct.
100. Oh yeah, so they live in a project or subsidized housing. That's the immediate thought for every. I think in
Right.
America, that's just what we think.
Right.
But you could be making $200,000 a year and be in that under zero thing. It don't matter what you make, it's what you keep. Something I say all the time, and who you
Correct.
owe for what.
Correct.
So to me, that is one of the most. I saw that and I was like, wow, it was an article. You check on
Wow. Yeah, we gotta
financialflipside.com.
check it out. We gotta
Check
check it
this
out.
out.
Check it out. Check
But
it out.
there's but no, it's so, and to tie that back in, it's like, yeah, a good percentage of that is going to go to taxes, and a percent, and some people also in financial planning, and we discussed this when Marcus was on with us. They people think there's like a threshold.
Mm-hmm.
So when I make so and so, I'm gonna need some help. No, you're not gonna get the help because you've been doing what you've been doing when you had nothing. You're not gonna go there. The best time to get help is when you don't have any money because you
Mm-hmm.
can't afford to money. One of my other things, money covers up mistakes and incompetence and everything. If you got money coming in, people, it'll cover it up. So I guess to put a bow on it before this turns into a TED talk. Um, I mean, so like, but hey, man, I just followed the lead. But yeah, to wrap up the bow around it is tax planning is a full year active situation. And so if you've ever owed, it usually triggers once you start owing. Our suggestion is to gather yourself and take a look at what you're doing. run towards it, see why. Hey, you might be you may have done well. You on another plateau, you know. So you also, how do we handle that? Yes, of course, we look at ways to reduce the liability, of course. But how are we going to manage this expense and the cash flow effect? I think I said last one, you know, last stream, tech practitioners and the Google CPAs can give you strategy. Perfect, right? Most time those strategies cost money because the only way you're going to reduce your income, taxable income, is you got to spend some money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, given a strategy in isolation, and a lot of these strategies aren't dollar for dollar. So, if you owe 50,000 in tax, you might have a deduction or something. That deduction is only, you know, you want the dollar amount of it is tied to your tax bracket. So, if you 50,000, you say, oh well, I could put 10,000 in that. But if you in like a 22%, I'm gonna keep it in 22% bracket or something, that 10,000 is only worth 2,200 of reducing your taxes. But you spent 10,000 to reduce your taxes by 2,200. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is that worth it to you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing that people, oh, are there any deductions or something? That they thinking dollar for dollar. I do this, I reduce that. But that's not how it works. That's not the math. So, you know,
That's a good point. You just gave some information that just confused the heck out of everybody listening to what you just said.
yeah, that's why they
I
call
just want to let you know
it.
that.
I know. I'm doing too much tech. It's too much.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
But it's good. No, it's good that you said that, and it's good that they're feeling confused. So now, what's the next step? Wrap your mind around that, and let's get after it.
yep.
What does he actually mean by that statement in terms of 10,000, which reduce you down to $2,200, right? What does
Hmm.
that actually mean? So now we have I feel there's a starting point for people to go. Okay, let me get my finances under order. Let me understand my tax bracket. If I owe X amount, how do I take what James just said and begin the process to get on a better page? Let's start there.
That's it, and I think that's where we in.
Boom.
So, things are increasing in time here. What's going on here? So,
Look, we just trying to listen. We trying to help, and it's two different perspectives. You know,
yeah,
you're the CPA. You know, I have a financial understanding and somewhat background. I'm on the other side of the fence where I look at you and say, "Hey, I'm trying to reduce my tax liability. Help me out."
yeah.
Right?
Well, it
And
works.
so,
It works. You know, it's a good thing. But as I said, you know, not enough information like this going out to the
true,
people. Just to get to that thought. I mean, you know, think about it. You know, this is it's all like we dealing with a mystic program, and all we know is, well, they don't pay no taxes, and them,
hmm
you know, you've heard it, man. Damn, how they
hmm
get away with doing that? You ain't them, so it don't even matter how they getting away with that.
correct,
Let's talk
correct.
about how we gonna get for your lifestyle. Yeah, we was, I got a whole thing on that. Like you know, you finance your lifestyle, and you know, I'm gonna save it though. You know,
No, you definitely got
lifestyle,
to say that.
retirement, the whole thought behind that.
That's gonna be. We're gonna put that in our boot camp, our
Yeah,
tax planning boot camp.
yeah, that might be what it was. Like, but
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Coming to a web page near you. So,
Hmm
well, with that said, this is very great, very good conversation. We thank you for tuning in or watching the video, and send us you know, comments, concerns. You think I'm insane? I mean, it's cool. It's all right. But like you like, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So email questions or comments at live at Haywood CPA. We check that, and we will still. Well, I think we'll get a worksheet out there just to get you thinking about looking at your own budget and personal budget, and just being honest with yourself. So that's that. So once again, thanks to everybody on the Facebook page. I I'm casting this on the Financial Flip Side page too. Um, if y'all don't know, that's the Financial Flip Side is a podcast, and myself and Latasha Pugh do pretty much monthly, where we really talk about this stuff like it's another level of the game. I mean, it's finance geek stuff, but it is what it is.
Hmm.
This version is a little more we grounded. Not that we not grounded there, but we it's a different flavor. Let's put it
Different
that way.
platform, different
Both of them are
platform.
great.
Of course, of
Both
course.
great flavors. You get all the flavors. So anyway, I'm going. He's going. It's a beautiful Saturday. Go do your thing. We will holler at you at another time.
Peace.
Peace.